We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving straight into the really fascinating world of short-form video.
Yeah, things like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels.
Exactly. You've definitely seen them, probably scrolled through, well, maybe more than a few.
Definitely more than a few for most people, I guess.
Right. So our goal today isn't just to say, hey, these are popular, but to really get under the hood, like, why the explosive growth? What makes them so sticky?
Absolutely. Think of this as your quick guide to the core elements driving this whole phenomenon.
And we're basing this on a pretty comprehensive look at the rise and impact of short-form video, right?
That's right. We've gone through a lot of analysis, pulling out the key insights for you. We want to get past the obvious stuff and really understand the mechanics behind it all.
Okay, let's unpack this then. It feels like, I don't know, not that long ago, it was all about longer videos, maybe more polished stuff, carefully curated photo albums online. What caused this big shift to these super short bursts?
Well, it's interesting. It's really a convergence of a few key trends. It all feeds into what people call the attention economy.
The attention economy.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much stuff online now.
Yeah.
Our attention, our focus has become this really valuable commodity that platforms and creators are all fighting for.
Makes sense.
And you add to that how much we use our smartphones for, well, pretty much everything digital now. It creates the perfect environment for content you can just snack on quickly, on the go.
Totally. We're just bombarded. And sitting down for a half-hour video, sometimes you just don't have that time. It's that quick hit you're looking for, right? Entertainment, information.
Yeah.
Fast.
Precisely. And there's a brain science bit here, too, which is fascinating.
Oh.
These short, snappy videos, they can actually trigger a dopamine release in your brain.
Ah, the feel-good chemical.
Exactly. So you watch something funny or interesting, you get that little reward, and your brain says, hey, let's do that again.
Yeah.
It creates this instant gratification cycle, a reward loop that keeps you watching. And if you look at how social media has evolved overall, it's been a clear move from mostly text and static images towards, more dynamic video.
So the big three then, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, they're all doing short video, but they feel different, don't they?
They absolutely do. Same space, different flavors, you could say. Their origins and core features lead to some key differences.
Like TikTok, they really blew the doors open on this format.
They really did. TikTok pioneered it and just nailed that algorithm-driven For You page. It's almost scary how fast it learns what you like and keeps feeding you stuff you'll engage with. Plus, their early focus on trends, on music and sounds, that was huge. I mean, it's so easy for anyone to jump in and create something, participate.
Yeah, you didn't need to be a creator. You could just do the dance, use the sound. What about YouTube Shorts? They seem to be leveraging the whole YouTube ecosystem.
Exactly right. YouTube Shorts taps into that massive existing library of videos and, crucially, its huge creator base. The integration feels pretty seamless if you're already on YouTube. And the fact they offer revenue sharing, that's a big pull for creators already there. It's about keeping that short-form audience within their world.
And Instagram Reels fits right into the visual nature of Instagram.
Correct. Reels slots into a platform that's always been about visuals. It focuses a lot on creative expression, on trends, much like TikTok in some ways. But it also benefits from being part of the wider Instagram experience stories, the Explore page. It's all connected. And what's really interesting is how the algorithms differ. What makes a video pop on TikTok might not be the same on Reels or Shorts. The creator ecosystems, the user demographics, they all have their own nuances.
Okay, so it's clear these platforms are designed to keep us hooked, keep us scrolling. What are some of the specific design tricks or features that make them so Well, addictive, maybe.
Yeah, sticky is a good word. The infinite scroll is maybe the most obvious one.
Where it just keeps going.
Right. There's no clicking next page, no conscious decision point. It just flows, almost subconsciously. And then you layer on the algorithmically curated feeds. That's the powerhouse.
Because it knows what I like.
It gets really good at knowing what you like. It watches everything, what videos you finish, what you like, comment on, share, even how long you pause on something. All those signals feed the algorithm, helping it predict what you want to see next. It's like a custom radio station, playing only hits just for you.
And it's also incredibly easy to make stuff yourself now, isn't it? No fancy camera or editing suite needed.
Absolutely crucial. The built-in creative tools are key. Simple things like trimming video, adding text, pulling in music using filters and effects. It dramatically lowers the barrier to entry.
So anyone can join in.
Exactly. And encourages everyone to participate, creates that community feel around trends. And we can't forget sound and music. They aren't just background noise.
No, sometimes they are the trend.
Precisely. They're integral to engagement, often the main driver of a viral trend. Plus, the short length itself, 15 seconds, 60 seconds, makes it super easy to consume and share.
It's low commitment. You can watch one even if you only have like 30 seconds free.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole social side. The likes, comments, shares.
The gamification aspect. It's huge. Those metrics provide social validation, hitting those same reward pathways in the brain we talked about. It encourages you to keep watching and to keep creating.
This all feels like it's having a much bigger impact than just, how we kill time online. It feels like a genuine cultural shift.
Oh, undeniably. We're seeing trend cycles accelerate like crazy. Things blow up and disappear faster than ever before.
Yeah.
And look at the rise of micro-influencers, people with really specific niches finding dedicated audiences. It's empowering different kinds of creators.
And just more people making stuff in general.
Exactly. A real democratization of content creation.
Right.
Way more voices, more perspectives being shared than we used to see.
It's not just silly dances either, is it? I see loads of informative stuff now, too.
Definitely. That line between entertainment and information is getting really blurry. You have experts, scientists, historians, chefs, you name it, using these platforms to share knowledge in really engaging short snippets.
Edutainment.
That's the term, yeah. And even language is changing, Internet slang evolves faster, and we're communicating more visually.
And businesses, marketers. They've definitely caught on. It's a whole new ballgame for them.
Oh, absolutely. Brands see the huge potential for awareness, just getting their name out there. They're jumping on trends, making interactive stuff, working with influencers, all to connect directly with people. And often, the goal is to drive traffic, maybe make sales, linking directly from a short video to a product page.
But they can't just run the TV ads on TikTok, right?
No way. It requires a totally different approach. Content has to be super concise, visually grabbing, and feel, native to the platform, authentic. You can't just repurpose old stuff.
So let's flip it. For the creators, the people actually making these videos,
Yeah.
what's their world like? You said the barrier to entry is low.
It's incredibly low now. That's the democratization of production. The editing tools inside the apps are surprisingly powerful, but still easy to use.
Right.
Basic trimming, adding text, music, filters, effects. It's all right there on your phone. The interfaces are usually pretty intuitive, so you don't need to be a video pro.
And they make it easy to copy trends?
Yeah, templates and trending sounds are often built right in. Makes it simple to jump on whatever's popular and put your own spin on it. Plus, you've got live video for real-time interaction, and things like auto captions are becoming more common, which is great for accessibility.
Okay, but with it being so easy to make and watch so much content, there has to be a downside first, the viewers, isn't there? All that scrolling.
That definitely brings us to the consumption conundrum, as some call it. While it's easy entertainment, that constant rapid-fire delivery of new stuff really does activate that dopamine loop we mentioned. And that can potentially lead to, addictive patterns. There are real concerns about shortening attention spans, about developing this habit of just mindless scrolling, passively consuming without really thinking or engaging.
Yeah, I've been there.
And just the sheer amount of time people can spend on these apps.
Yeah.
It obviously takes away from other things in life. It's something you really need to be mindful of personally.
And lurking behind it all is the algorithm, this sort of invisible director deciding what we see.
Exactly. It's constantly working to personalize your feed based on everything you do on the app. And it's also spotting and boosting emerging trends. That's how things go viral so incredibly fast. For creators, trying to figure out the algorithm, or at least play nicely with it, is often the key to getting seen. Virality is the goal for many.
But how do creators actually make a living from this? It seems like attention is so fleeting.
Yeah, the monetization piece is tricky. It's still evolving. Platforms often have creator funds that pay popular creators based on views or engagement. But the criteria can be complex.
Okay.
Brand deals and sponsorships are probably the biggest route for established influencers. Building an audience that trusts you, then partnering with brands.
Makes sense.
We're also seeing more direct-to-fan stuff like tipping or platform subscriptions like on TikTok Live. And some platforms are trying out e-commerce features, letting creators sell merch directly.
But it sounds tough to make it sustainable.
It absolutely can be. For every huge success story, there are countless creators struggling to earn consistent income. It's definitely a challenge.
It also feels like these platforms aren't just separate islands. They interact, right? There's overlap.
Oh, totally. We're seeing a lot more cross-platform synergy. Think about YouTube putting shorts right inside YouTube.
Yeah, it's right there with the regular videos.
Exactly. Short form coexisting with long form. Same with Reels inside Instagram. And the biggest sign is probably the dominance of vertical video, that 9.16 phone screen format. It's everywhere now.
True.
And creators are smart about it. They often repurpose content across different platforms, cross-promote their accounts, trying to reach people wherever they are. It really points towards a future where video might feel even more blended across services.
The speed you mentioned. Trends, ideas spreading so fast, it really does feel like culture itself is speeding up.
It's striking, isn't it? Viral challenges, dances, they pop up and sweep the globe almost overnight. Audio trends, sounds that get picked up, remixed, adapted instantly. Memes evolve incredibly quickly. And like we said, language changes. Visual communication becomes more dominant.
And it helps niche groups find each other.
Big time. Subcultures, communities built around very specific interests. They can find each other, grow, and share their trends globally, much faster than before.
And how we tell stories. That's had to change too, hasn't it? You've got, what, 3 seconds to hook someone?
If that. Yeah, short-form video demands conciseness, immediate impact. That opening hook is everything.
Right.
It's very visual first, often minimal text. Information has to be broken down into tiny, digestible bites. That whole edutainment thing is booming because of this.
And it lets regular people share their stories too.
Absolutely. User-generated narratives, it's empowering lots of people to tell their own stories in new ways.
But all this, constant rapid-fire input, what's it doing to our brains? To our attention?
That's a really big, important question. How is our attention adapting? All that fast content, switching context constantly. Could it make it harder to sustain focus on one thing for a long time? Maybe, potentially. But our brains are adaptable. Maybe we're getting better at processing visual information really quickly, learning to decode things faster.
Interesting angle.
There's ongoing research into how this constant novelty affects our brain's reward systems. And concerns about, cognitive fragmentation, making deep thinking harder. We don't have all the answers yet. The long-term effects are still being studied.
And then there's the performance aspect. Everyone's showing these perfect little snippets of life. Is it blurring what's real and what's curated?
That's a critical point. There's definitely pressure to present this idealized version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Content often fits certain aesthetics or themes.
Yeah.
And you see things like performative activism, sharing social or political points in very short, maybe simplified ways. It could raise awareness, sure, but does it lead to deep engagement? That's debatable.
And feeling close to creators you only see in 15-second clips.
Right, that illusion of intimacy. It can feel like a real connection, but it's based on very selective glimpses. All this can definitely feed into issues around self-esteem, social comparison. It's complex.
So looking forward, short-form video clearly isn't a fad. It's here to stay. How might it keep changing how we consume media?
The trend lines are pretty clear. It's going to remain dominant. We're already seeing it creep more into news, quick updates, explainers, transforming education into these bite-sized, engaging formats. It'll definitely stay huge in marketing and advertising. We'll probably see new storytelling techniques emerge just for this format, and maybe even more blended experiences mixing short form with other media types.
Okay, so with all this reach, all this influence, there has to be a big regulatory conversation happening too. Things like data privacy, harmful content.
Oh, absolutely. These platforms' power raises huge questions for regulators. Data privacy is a major one. How much data is collected, how it's used, the risk of breaches, and content moderation. It's a massive challenge. How do you effectively police billions of user-generated videos? They use AI, but it has limits. You need human oversight, appeals processes.
And the platform's responsibility for user safety.
That's the core debate, isn't it? Where does their responsibility lie? It's a constant point of discussion and evolving regulation.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground. What are the main takeaways from this deep dive?
I think the biggest thing is that short-form video isn't just another content format. It's a really significant shift in how we interact with the digital world.
Right.
It's changing how we get information, how we connect, maybe even how we see the world. It offers amazing potential for creativity and connection.
But
But it also comes with real considerations for our attention, our well-being, and the responsibilities of the companies running these platforms.
it's a double-edged sword in many ways.
So as short-form video keeps evolving, keeps embedding itself deeper into our lives, maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. How is our relationship with information, with entertainment, going to keep changing? What new skills, what kind of mindfulness might we need to navigate this landscape well?
Yeah, that's something to chew on. How do we use these powerful tools effectively and healthily?
Definitely something to think about next time you find yourself scrolling. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.